West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home.
Country roads to the place where I belong, West Virginia.
Man, that song really makes you want to kiss your cousin.
I really didn't get the memo that we were ending after 3 lyrics.
Well, those were the only lyrics I gave you, bitch.
I just assumed you figured I'd do the rest of the song.
No, girl.
I was ready.
Oh my gosh, you got too excited about West Virginia.
No, you forget I dated a West Virginia boy. And one of the prerequisites for that was learning the entirety of the West Virginia song.
Very interesting.
That was a joke.
Very interesting.
That was not true. I dated the least West Virginian of all West Virginians.
Yeah, there's some pretty uppity West Virginians. They're not all country bumpkins like you would think, you know.
I still talk to him. I'm going to tell him you called him uppity.
Well, please tell him. I'm telling the world right now, he's probably uppity.
It's Mike.
It's Mike.
It's Mike.
Good. And Mike, you're uppity. No, I love you, Mike. You're not uppity. You are a city slicker in that big city, Chicago.
Just dox
big
him,
city boy. You said on the episode he was in Chicago.
That is true. How was your week?
My week was fine. It's finally getting warm, and that brings joy to my heart. That's all that's really going on, because I do have a lot to talk about Pop Culture Corner, though. So what's going on in your week?
My knee has started to click.
Oh.
Whenever I move it. Do you want to feel?
No, I don't want to feel.
Yeah, just put your hand on my knee and
I'm not touching your fucking knee clicks.
It clicks.
See, this is what happens when you live with old people. Your knees start clicking, you get arthritis, you start drinking prune juice like you own the goddamn...
First of all, I don't drink prune juice. Second of all, I have had arthritis since I was a senior in high school. We can't blame that on Bill and Rose.
Yeah, you can blame it on all those side-of-the-road hand jobs.
You know, I have no comeback to that because the arthritis is in my hands.
Maybe...
If you would have said it was in my knees because, like, I was giving blowjobs on the side of the road, I could have fought against that. But it is in my hands, and that's why I had to give up playing piano.
Oh. Not the hand jobs preventing your piano career.
I was not giving hand jobs.
Or maybe you should charge a little more. Then you wouldn't have to do so many.
It used to be a nickel, but now it's a dime.
Oh my god.
I got arthritis medication I gotta afford.
Oh my god. So do the knees clicks hurt? Like...
Yes.
That sucks.
Especially, like, for some reason when I'm lying in bed, like, I will, like, move my knee. Like, you know how when you sleep, like, you'll just, like, move or, like, unbend or bend your knee?
Yeah.
I'll do that, and, like, the pain is so terrible, it will wake me up.
Getting old sucks, kids. Getting old sucks. So, speaking of being too old, let's talk. We have to address it on the podcast. Robert Irwin? Was that
Yes! Oh my god, yes! Forget wrestling crocodiles. He can wrestle me in those Bondi underwear.
See, he looks so good in that video, but then you find out he was born in 2003, and that makes
no! You're joking.
Yeah, he was born after 9/11, and if you're born after 9/11, don't talk to me, nothing. I'm not talking to you.
No, he was not born in...
He was. He's like 22, because people born in 2003, it's 2025, he's 22. He's only like 8 years older than us. Well, younger than us. We're only 8 years.
That's gross.
But it still feels weird.
Yeah.
It's like the year he was born makes it weird. He's not that much younger than us, but it's just the year that he was born makes it weird. He looks really good, but I just can't be looking at that. No, he's too young, okay? Yeah. He looks really good, but no. And I've been seeing all these TikToks of all these people putting themselves in timeout for realizing when he was born and being like, ooh,
I think I need to go in timeout now.
What?
I think I need to go into timeout now.
Honestly, because those pictures, they look good, but they'll make you feel weird when you realize how old he is.
Yeah,
And
I thought he was like 25.
he's just so wholesome, too. Like, that whole family, like, he definitely inherited his father's wholesomeness. And I think that's what makes him so attractive, too, is his personality, too. And I don't know. We stan, but we don't stan that hard because he was born after 9/11. That makes it weird. Now, moving right along here, there's orcas attacking great white sharks off the coast of South Africa.
Been there, done that.
They're eating their livers.
Yeah.
There's like two of them, and they're eating their livers. Like they're just
they like doing that. That's a thing.
Yeah, but they're killing all these great white sharks.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a long time.
Nervous. No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has. I watched Shark Week. It's a thing.
So the orcas have been killing the great white sharks for a while?
Yeah.
And
like they're known to attack great whites.
Did you actually know this? Or are you fucking with me?
Paul.
I know you're the go-to on the orcas.
Paul, why would I not know this?
Girl, I don't know. I didn't know it. I only know it because it was on Side Stories, the last podcast on the left, shout out. But I thought it was such an interesting story because they're just eating the livers and leaving the rest to die. Like, there's scavengers on the bottom of the ocean that are eating, like, their carcasses. Yeah. But it's making me nervous about the ecosystem because now that all of these great white sharks are being killed, there's seals. They're not eating as many seals anymore, and the seals are becoming overpopulated. And things like that make me really nervous about the ecosystem. Like, it worries me. I'm concerned.
You know the sharks are going to come back when the orcas leave.
Well, yeah, but...
The orcas are migratory.
We might have to, like, force the orcas to leave or kill them. Just so we get the great white sharks back in check, and then we can get the seals back in check. It's the, like, law and... This story concerned me. I'm concerned about the great white sharks.
I know. This is so weird for you.
Very concerned about the great white sharks. So I will keep an eye on this situation, and if it gets even more concerning, I will let you all know as your reporter on the great white shark shortage off the coast of Africa, South Africa. I'm nervous, girl. You don't seem as worried as I am, but
I'm not, because
I'm worried.
They do this. The orcas attack the great white sharks because they like the livers. And they leave the rest of the shark because the meat is tough.
See, that doesn't sit right with me. I was raised to use the entire animal once it's killed. Were you not?
I mean, yes, but it's like they're an animal.
Yeah. It just also, it seems like a spree kill. It seems like kind of serial killer to me also. Like, just killing it, getting one thing, and leaving the rest for dead. It's
where was your concern? Where was your concern when I was going to join the orcas and eat the rich and sink their yachts and you were calling me crazy?
I didn't call you crazy because I support that. I support them sinking yachts. I think that's cool.
Yeah, but when I said I was going to go join the orcas, you were like, sure, Jan.
Because, bitch, you can't even swim. Can you swim?
Yes, I can swim. I'm a very good swimmer.
Okay.
Can you even swim?
Yeah, I can fucking swim. I grew
up in the mountains of Maryland near no rivers or lakes.
Yeah, we had lakes, we had rivers, we had swimming holes.
You ever been? Holes?
Yeah, we went. Yeah. By the way, this is the West Virginia episode, low key. So we did have swimming holes where I grew up, right across the river from West Virginia. I spent a good amount of time in the swimming hole. Okay.
That sounds like someplace you would get polio.
It was really dirty. Those rivers are very dirty. But we do have to get to our story eventually. So I do have an update for us. So, you remember the Pakistani woman who...
Yes, she's back.
How, you know she's back. You just ruined my grand reveal.
I'm sorry.
She got stuck in Dubai for a month and she's back in New York. You're welcome. She came back for us kids.
She came back for us or to us?
Probably against her own will. She came back to us. Yeah, no, she's back. She did marry a man she met in Pakistan, so she is married now.
Did she marry that man who she kept telling, shut up, you don't speak for me?
No, she didn't marry him. I'm not sure who she married. She married some man she met on an app. They went on a date, and now they're married. So she does have a reason to go back to Pakistan now. I'm not sure why she didn't go back, and I'm not sure why she got stuck in Dubai for a month, but there's something going on there, girl. I don't know what exactly is going on, but there's something going on, something interesting. But that's the update. She's back in New York. Good for her. She looks good. Maybe she had a good time in Dubai. I'm sure Dubai has some interesting foods and things. She's married. So I think things are looking up.
I mean, she got everything out of that trip she said she wanted.
She did. She got married. And maybe that guy she married has land or something. Who knows? No, who knows? So I hope she goes back to Pakistan and gives us some more content because I love watching her. She's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Do you have any final thoughts on her?
No.
No? Okay, period. That was Pop Culture Corner. Now, why don't we drink? Let's get into today's beverage. Like I said, today is the West Virginia episode. Today, we are drinking West Virginia Fruit and Berry, and it's Mountain Blackberry.
Oh.
Now, the back reads, from humble beginnings as fruit growers in 1995, West Virginia Fruit and Berry has grown to become a proud ambassador of the rich traditions and heritage of our region. Our journey started with the offering of all natural preserves and fruit butters from the fruits and berries indigenous to our region. Today, we honor the legacy of our ancestors by crafting distinctive wines and spirits that are reminiscent of the cherished homemade wines that have been a part of our family for generations. Now, this is a very beautiful bottle. This is my last Christmas wine bottle. So shout out to whoever got it for me again. Shout out to my stepmom, Natasha or Jason, or my brother's girlfriend. Not sure which one got this one for me, but shout out to the three of you. It's a beautiful bottle. Let's give her a crack. She's a twisty top, so let's give her a twist. That's a pretty good twist. All right, ASMR pour number 1. I'm feeling this is going to be a good one. I'm excited.
It smells interesting.
Like that interesting?
Interesting.
It don't smell that bad.
I didn't say it smelled bad. I said it smelled interesting.
Well, cheers. Let's give it a go.
That's sweet.
It's very sweet. It tastes like juice. I like it. It's very good.
I'll give that a 4.5.
What percentage is she? She's only 11%. Okay, 11%. That's still a pretty good amount. It don't taste like 11% though. It tastes like juice.
And be careful with that one.
I like a very sweet wine, so that's a good wine. I like that. I'm going to give that 5 grapes. And I very much appreciate that it's from almost my homeland, so that's awesome.
Your honorary homeland.
Yeah. This is a very good wine. I would definitely get this wine again. For sure would get this wine again. Do you have anything to add about the wine, DJ?
No, it's pretty good.
Period. So, let's get into today's story. I forgot to say, DJ, let me tell you a story. Can I tell you a story, please?
No.
Damn.
End of the podcast.
That's too damn bad, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad.
All right, let's get into it. She wears short skirts. I wear t-shirts. She's an alien robot monster from outer space. And I'm on the bleachers. Have you ever wondered what an alien robot monster would look like if it was serving fashion? Have you ever wondered what someone would look like if they had a mix of Kristen Stewart's boxy body and Vin Diesel's pointy head? Have you ever wondered what the robot made from the Jetsons would look like in a skirt? Do you know that there's still a chance for you? Because there's a spark in you. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine on Flatwoods, West Virginia. Because today, we are talking about the Flatwoods Monster. Yeehaw!
How did you start off with Taylor Swift, You Belong to Me, and end up in Firework by Katy Perry?
A whole bottle of champagne, that's how. That'll get you there, honey.
That will get you there.
And I'm really proud of that Vin Diesel joke. That Kristen Stewart Vin Diesel joke. I thought that was top tier comedy.
Okay.
What, you've never seen Vin Diesel's pointy head?
I've seen his head. I just never thought of it as being pointy.
It's pretty pointy.
I thought of it as being egg-shaped. But
It is kind of egg-shaped,
but also whenever I see a bald person, I immediately think of an egg.
That's true. Now, have you ever heard of the Flatwoods Monster?
Yes, I have.
Period. So you know a little bit about it going into the episode.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, let's jump right in. So the Flatwoods Monster is either an alien or a cryptid or a robot or a combination of the three. It is about 10 feet tall, and the best way to describe the Flatwoods Monsters comes from this book I have right here. It is The United States of Cryptids, A Tour of American Myths and Monsters, and I'll be referencing this book throughout this episode. It's an awesome book. It's by J.W. Ocker. I would definitely recommend picking up a copy of this book. It definitely helped me in my research. But it described the Flatwoods Monster as a flame-headed monster in a green dress.
Oh.
So, let me show you a picture real quick, just so you can have a good old visual. I'll put this on the screen and then I'll describe it to the audio listeners. So that's basically what the Flatwoods Monster looks like. So for our audio listeners, the shape of the head is kind of like a flame of a candle or a spade, right?
Yeah.
And it has sort of a helmet encompassing the head. And the head is red, right? So the head is red, and then its dress or like its body is green, and it's like it looks like it's wearing a pleated skirt, basically. And that part is green.
It's giving ghost.
Ghost? That's interesting.
A little bit.
Well, we'll see if
Like
you still
spirit.
think that. Spirit?
Yeah, like not ghost like belays, like that it was a person once. I'm getting like spirit as in like this is a spirit from the land.
Like a nature's... Well, let me tell you the story, and you see if
Maybe
you
a
still
fae.
feel that way. So, the creature first appeared on September 12th, 1952, when 5 boys about the age of 10 to 14 were playing outside in elementary school.
Oh.
The children saw a streak of light across the sky, and the streak went across the sky and then landed on a neighboring hill that was part of a farm, right?
Oh.
So the children also would describe the streak as kind of like a ball of fire going across the sky, okay? Now, the children went and got 2 of the boys' mom. The mom's name was Kathleen May. And also along the way, they picked up a 17-year-old National Guardsman named Gene Lemon, which would also be a good drag name, for sure. Could you imagine a king named Gene Lemon?
Yes.
I like that drag name. Gene Lemon, good name. But he was in the National Guard, and he joins this group on their way to go see what this thing that landed on the hill was, okay? So, also, one more person joined them. Well, not person. They had a dog named Richie that was with them. And this was kind of the neighborhood dog. They all kind of, like, took care of it.
I love a dog.
Yeah, the dog's really cute. But it was kind of their neighborhood dog. They all took care of it. Everyone fed it. It was just kind of a dog
It was
that
a stray.
that
everyone
like,
just took care of.
Exactly. But
It's West Virginia. No single person can afford a dog, so they just all take care of it.
Damn, I think they can afford a dog
in this community.
Girl, I don't know anything about that community. At that
For
point.
legal reasons, this is a joke.
Oh my gosh. So once they reached the hill where the object was, they began to be surrounded by an odd mist, but could see a glowing object with strobing red lights through the mist. The dog ran towards the glowing object, barking, and then all of a sudden it yelped and ran all the way back to town.
Oh.
Yeah. Gene Lemon, he points his flashlight towards the tree. And he is the first person ever to see the Flatwoods Monster.
Wow.
He described it as being 10 feet tall, with long, thin claws and round, glowing eyes set into a round, red face. That was... Ew.
Yeah.
Now, the red face was cowled in a spade-shaped hood. Its body was covered in a green metallic material that ended in a pleated skirt. Now, Kathleen would describe it as looking worse than a Frankenstein, which would prompt the Statesville Daily to call the creature Frankenstein with B-O, because there was also this horrible smell. Yes.
They really just, he needs some Old Spice.
He very much did, because everyone who was there, they all said that they smelled this horrible smell.
Okay,
and,
it's still giving
sulfur.
spirit.
I don't know, something.
Sulfur, demonic. It could have been a demon. It could have been a thing from Stranger Things. It could have been carnivorous, because carnivores do smell bad because of all the rotting flesh they eat.
I don't know. I'm still going with alien because it came from the sky.
I don't know. You just haven't given me any compelling evidence. It could be a coincidence.
It came from the sky,
That
DJ.
could be a coincidence.
Go, bitch. Okay, we'll get into it in theories. Okay.
Satan was once Lucifer, who was an angel, the bright morning star, who was cast and fell to earth.
You know what? Maybe he is a ghost. We'll get into it later. Okay. So the monster hissed and floated towards the group, which caused them to flee.
For some reason you said hiss, and all I could think of was, did you get that clip I sent you from Love on the Spectrum on TikTok today?
No.
Where it was, what's her name? The blonde girl.
Abby?
Abby. And she was like, I want something like that one day. But also, I hissed at a couple.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember that quote.
And all I could think of is that quote. And I just thought that was so funny because honestly, that's me.
Now, in a true testament to how country Kathleen is, she described the hissing sound as frying bacon. The sound frying bacon makes when it's frying. She described the hiss as that. So, the monster...
That's country.
It very much is. Now, the monster hisses, comes towards them, they flee. And after this encounter, the group would be sick for days afterwards.
Oh.
And when the dog was found, it was found vomiting uncontrollably. And the dog would unfortunately later pass away after this. So rest in peace, Pupper.
But that could have just been Kathy May's bacon.
Maybe. Bitch.
I mean, if she associates that sound with bacon sizzling.
But at the same time, one thing about country people is they know how to make bacon. So I trust in Kathy's bacon. Now, could they have gotten sick, though, from an otherworldly disease brought to them by this alien?
Okay, that is a little compelling for the alien. Because also aliens, alien encounters do tend to have radiation.
Yeah.
And people will have either radiation burns or experience radiation poisoning after it. So when you said that they all got sick, I immediately thought radiation poisoning.
Or maybe that weird smell, that bad smell they were all smelling, maybe that had something to do with them all getting sick. And they did complain of throat problems for a couple weeks after as well. Also, a doctor who examined the people, they said they had symptoms similar to mustard gas, like when you get hit with mustard gas. So a doctor said the symptoms they exhibited after being exposed to this alien creature, maybe ghost, maybe whatever it is, experienced symptoms similar to mustard gas, being exposed to mustard gas, which was really interesting. So, also after this encounter, the police, the National Guard, and ufologists would scour the hill searching for evidence of the encounter. But all they would find is trampled grass where they assumed whatever landed from the sky landed. There were also skid marks and an oil-like residue on the grass. Also, one more thing, that odor was lingering as well. That bad odor, it was still lingering there as well. Now,
she literally ripped one and walked out of the room to leave everyone else to suffer.
Honestly, that's so for real.
She just had that Taco Bell.
She crop dusted. Yes. Not the Flatwoods Monster crop dusting the hill.
She ate some Taco Bell, crop dusted this town, and left.
Maybe she was trying to be king of the hill. Do you think the Flatwoods Monster saw King of the Hill, decided to land on the hill, so they could become king of the hill?
Are you talking about the cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon, King of the Hill.
Whoa. Isn't that what Hank does?
I think so. No, I watched that show growing up, but
I don't know you.
Yes. Bobby,
I don't know you.
There's something creepy about that animation. If you watch that today, there's something creepy about that animation.
I think that was the point.
Yeah, it is a funny show, classic show, but maybe the Flatwood Monster was trying to be king of the hill is what I was getting at. So, at this point in history, UFOs were all over the media. So when this dropped, it caused a media frenzy. People were hungry for a good UFO story, and this gave it to them, okay? Mm-hmm. So Kathleen and Jean, you remember the National Guard? Kathleen, yes. The mom, the
Lemon
National...
Lime.
Yep, Lemon Lime. Perfect. So they would be flown to Manhattan to appear on a TV show to actually talk about their appearance.
What TV show?
That's a good question, DJ.
What's My Line?
What's My Line?
Is that what it's called?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, neither do I.
Yeah, you got me, DJ. I don't know what the TV show was called.
Neither do I.
But I do know on that TV show, that's where they aired the classic sketch of what the Flatwood Monster actually looked like to them. It's similar to the sketch I just showed you of what the Flatwood Monster... Well, all the sketches look the same. But that's where they aired on like national television what they think the Flatwoods Monster would look like. A sketch artist like took all of their accounts of the story and came up with what the Flatwood Monster probably looked like. Now, again, if you're an audio listener, go head on over to our Instagram. If you're driving a car, take your hand off the wheel, close your eyes, and go on over to our Instagram and take a look at what the Flatwoods Monster looks like.
You're going to get us sued for that joke one day.
Probably. Now, I know what you're all asking yourselves, so I'm going to answer your questions, okay? Was the Flatwoods Monster ever seen again after that sighting?
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, good. This was going to be a really boring episode if you said no.
No. He still was lurking around for a little bit after he landed, trying to get people to look up his skirt. So,
Wait. Can you see what I'm doing with my phone?
So, the same night, the Smitowskis were visiting Ohio, and they decided to take the scenic route home to New York through West Virginia. So while they were driving along...
Wait, they were in Ohio, going back to New York.
Yes.
And decided to take the scenic route through West Virginia.
They wanted to see West Virginia, DJ. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I know it's a little bit out of the way, but
It's a lot out of the way.
No, it's not. Ohio's right next to West Virginia, DJ.
Yeah, but New York is right next to New Jersey, which is right next to Pennsylvania, so why wouldn't you just drive straight across Pennsylvania?
Well, I guess they wanted to see fucking West Virginia.
I guess so. Let's call a spade. They were looking for the good hooch.
Ooh, they were going after that moonshine.
Yes, they were looking for the hill people to get that moonshine.
Yes. Well, anyway, their car stalled when they were close to Flatwoods, West Virginia, mysteriously. So, the husband got out to fix it and smelled an awful odor. And...
It was just you after some Taco Bell.
Bitch, leave me alone. So, and then, while he was, looking at the car, he was under the engine, the wife sees glowing lights in the woods and everything. So, the wife, as she's looking at these glowing lights, she then starts screaming. Okay. And then, the husband turns around to look at what the wife is screaming at. And then he looks back to the car and looks back, and that's when he sees it. He sees the Flatwoods Monster, right? So he gets in the car, puts everyone down. They are all tucked in the car, and the Flatwood Monster floats by them. And when it floats by the car, it puts its hand on the car, and you can imagine it probably sounded like the scratching noise it probably made with its claws on the hood of the car.
Like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah, very that. And of course they're terrified. So, exactly. So, the Flatwoods Monster passes by, scratches their car, and then once he's gone, they drive away. Car's good now, they're driving away. But what's interesting is the next day, there was a brown, kind of like how rust kind of erodes, kind of like an eroded brown, rusty look where the Flatwoods Monster scratched the car. So there was something weird there. So maybe it was radiation, like a high level of
or
radiation.
some kind of chemical reaction because the smell and the chemical attack symptoms. Okay.
Yep, very interesting. So that was that encounter.
Also, did you call the Flatwood Monsters a he?
Well, I feel like they're gender neutral. So I'm using he, I'm using she. I'm not trying to assume genders here, so I'm using both.
See, I just always assumed the Flatwoods Monster was a... Well...
See, that's just the patriarchy talking to you.
That is, because the skirt... And so, like, all the little cartoon versions that I've seen are, like, very feminine.
Yeah.
I bought into the patriarchy. Bad,
DJ. Also, the director of Board of Education of the area filed a report saying he saw a strange aircraft take off from the area where it landed on that hill at around 6:30 a.m. So basically, the Flatwoods Monster streaked across the sky, landed on the hill, took an adventure through the woods, came back, and left again at 6:30 a.m. And that's what we know, okay?
Me too.
So,
I come, I see, I leave.
Hey, he didn't just like stay on the hill, okay? He came and he saw a little bit of the sights, and then she left. And now I'm going to purposely use different pronouns just to confuse you and other people.
I'm glad we're in agreement about what they are.
Yes. So, the story doesn't end with this sighting, though, surprisingly. See, all of a sudden, people were paying attention to this small town. People were coming to see the place where the Flatwoods encounter was, and with more people come more money. So, this one incident would turn this small town into a cryptid town.
Oh.
Now,
like Point Pleasant, West Virginia?
Exactly.
Not sponsored.
Now, what is a cryptid town, you illiterate folks might ask? Well, it's a town with close cultural ties to a local cryptid, and it becomes part of the town's identity. So, like, mainly for monetary gain, tourism, things like that. So this would cause Flatwoods and surrounding areas become one of the cryptid town. You know, they want to capitalize on all this attention they have. They want to bring tourists. They want to bring money. They want to bring all sorts of things into the town, kind of like Point Pleasant does with the Mothman, because they got the Mothman Museum and all sorts of attractions for people now. Because you know, if they didn't have these cryptids, no one would give a fuck about these little towns. No one would care. They would probably just fade into wherever they would fade into, fade into non-existence. Flatwoods, West Virginia has a welcome sign for visitors that says Home of the Green Monster, which lures people into the town so they can partake in the Flatwoods Monster themed restaurant and ice cream shop.
Oh,
and that's how
I love a restaurant and ice cream shop.
Right? Exactly. So that's just one example of how they're becoming a cryptid town and how they're monopolizing on this Flatwoods Monster sighting. So, what's really interesting is Sutton, West Virginia, the town next to Flatwoods. And it's the town that really, really ran with the Flatwoods Monster. See, one attraction they have there is this thing called the Braxton County Chair Project, right? So,
I don't like that. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
But basically, they have like 5 different chairs, like all around the Sutton area and Braxton County, where you're supposed to visit all of the chairs and get pictures with all of them. And the chairs are at landmarks all throughout the county. So basically, they're just trying to get people to explore and like get pictures with all of these different chairs. You can sit on the chairs. You can sit on the Flatwood Monster's lap. You can really get up in the gig there. You don't want to sit on the Flatwood Monster's lap?
What kind of chair is it? Is it a Chippendale? Is it an Adams?
Bitch, it's a throne. I don't know. I don't know my different types of chairs.
Is it an armchair? Is it a wingback? How big is this chair? Is it like one of those comically big beach chairs that they have at beaches?
I imagine it's like one of the comically big ones.
Interesting. In the Adirondack style or in the beach chair style?
Bitch! Shut the fuck up! This isn't no goddamn architectural digest. Girl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. But let's not forget one of the most important things. The Flatwoods Monster Festival they have every year. Yeah.
When is it? Can we go?
When is it, TJ?
When is it?
That's a good motherfucking question, because I'm not sure.
Did you not look it up?
Bitch, I didn't think it was relevant.
Oh, it's always relevant, Paul. Everything is relevant unless it's racist. And then it's not.
What's relevant to you isn't relevant to me. What was relevant to me is that they have the Flatwoods Monster Festival that celebrates not only the Flatwood Monster, but cryptids.
It's not really relevant. It's simply relevant to me because I would like to go.
We'll give it a good old Google later, and then maybe we'll go. Maybe you'll catch us at the Flatwood Monster Festival this year. And also, one of the main things that really attracts people to the Flatwoods Monster Festival is they have like a big like convention / party at the Flatwoods Monster Museum. Mm-hmm. So, and the Flatwoods Monster Museum is actually on Main Street. Oh. So, that's where the party is, girl. So, if you're like at the Flatwoods Flatwoods Monster Expo celebration, whatever you want to call it, make sure you hit the Flatwoods Monster Museum because they got a lot of cool things going on there during the festival, okay? Now, I love this because it's a prime example of how if people embrace their spooky side, it can lead to prosperity, right?
Yes.
Like it can bring them all sorts of money, all sorts of benefits. People just embracing their spooky side.
Yes, we learned there's some Point Pleasant.
Exactly. It can have all sorts of benefits. So if you take anything from this episode, embrace your spooky side. But with all good stories, people will always have theories and conspiracies as to what the Flatwoods Monster is, okay? So, the first and most boring theory, apparently that same night of the incident, meteors were streaking across the sky, and this was seen by people as far as Baltimore. And as for the creature they saw, well, according to some, who I will reveal later in the theory section, they think the creature might have just been an owl, a case of mistaken identity.
Or a weather balloon.
Right. Now, do I believe it was an owl? No.
No,
because what they're
describing doesn't sound anything like an owl.
Right. Do you have any guesses as to who might be putting these theories forward?
The Air Force?
Right on the dot. So, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. The government's involvement in all this. We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. But first, I want to get into the theory about the Flatwoods Monster being a robot. The witnesses to this day maintain that the Flatwoods Monster is a robot, based on its metallic sheen and the way it moved along. It kind of glides along, because the monster, it doesn't have legs. It ends like where the skirt ends. So it doesn't have legs, and it kind of just glides along. So that's why people think it might be a robot.
Okay.
Or maybe it's an alien, because like it did have a head. Like in the spade shape, it had that red head. So maybe there was a biological creature inside of the robot. Right. So maybe it was an alien that crash landed, or maybe the alien was still in the spacecraft and it was a fully robotic thing that the alien was controlling from the spacecraft.
What if?
Or wherever it was.
What if it was the spacecraft and the alien was inside of it?
Like the Flatwoods Monster itself was the thing streaking
like
across
it was the
sky.
spacecraft, and it has like the ability to like hover and like move like that, but it can also like go.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's actually really interesting. Or maybe what if it's like a fully biological creature, like, and you know what I mean by biological, right? Like you and I, we're fully biological creatures. Yes. Maybe it's a fully biological creature that just has a metallic appearance.
It could be.
Right. Or maybe it could be an alien machine hybrid.
What if it was an escaped experiment from a government experiment gone wrong?
That's an interesting theory. Maybe it is. I mean, they are close to like Washington, D.C., and if they saw these like things in the sky as far as Baltimore, like there's all sorts of things going on.
Like armor on it.
So maybe you're right. Maybe the scientists were experimenting with some sort of new war technology, and that was like some sort of drone that like they got out or they were experimenting with.
And they were using uranium or plutonium to power it, thus the radiation sickness.
Bitch, that's crazy. That's such a good theory. I didn't even
you.
think of that. Uranium. Oh my gosh. And like, see, the thing about uranium is I usually don't like to show mine until the second date. So it's really interesting that if the monster's uranium was there like the first time they saw it, maybe he's easy.
Now, what about your plutonium?
No, my plutonium, you gotta wait for the fourth date.
Interesting.
Yeah, I gotta get a little. I
see.
really gotta know you to see my plutonium.
Interesting.
Stupid bitch. Right after the incident, as I said before, the ufologists, the police, everyone came, and this prompted a U.S. Air Force UFO inquiry, and they sent out secret investigators from none other than Project Blue Book.
Okay.
That's right. The infamous secret Air Force program that lasted from 1952 to 1969, whose entire aim was to investigate UFO sightings and debunk them, throwing the general public off the trail of real alien encounters. Catherine May even received a letter from the Pentagon telling her that what she had seen that night was just experimental rockets and warned her to keep quiet about the event. But luckily for us, she didn't keep quiet. She wouldn't be threatened by the Pentagon or Project Blue Book investigators.
But what if it was? Like, what if that's what the Flatwoods Monster was? Was an experimental rocket, like I said.
But I feel like if it was like an experimental rocket by them, I feel like what they're referring to as a rocket is a lot different than what she saw, you know? Because they saw a monster, not like a rocket. Because, like, when they say rocket in the letter, I feel like that's more like what you would.
At least they didn't say weather balloon.
Right, right. Now, when the government was investigating this hill, right, they even took samples of the oil-like substance that was left on the grass. But
the cum, if you will.
What?
The cum, if you will.
The afterbirth, if you will. They took samples of it, but no one ever heard back of what came of these samples that they tested. So they kept the answers to themselves. So the government is trying to cover something up here. They know something we don't know. And side note, Project Blue Book, that's it's a deep, deep story that we will cover at some point. Because it's very interesting. But I just think having the secret agents from the government who are associated with Project Blue Book coming out to investigate really adds validity to the claim that this is a UFO and there is something that the government is trying to hide from us here, okay? This is my conspiracy hat on. Now, I did find a very, very interesting, very disturbing picture. And if you get startled easy and you're watching our video right now, fast forward a little bit because the government really is trying to hide stuff from us. And this picture, when I first saw it, it rocked me to my core. And I don't know if you're ready to see this picture, DJ. And if you're, just brace yourself, video listeners, because I'm going to put this picture on the screen for you. And I feel like this really is what the government was trying to hide from us when they saw what had crash landed. And I feel like this might even be a real picture of what they saw that night, because I think they might have seen this and got this picture the day after in the daylight, okay? Are you ready for this, DJ?
Yes.
Truly disturbing. Truly rocked me to my core when I first saw this. Just the photo accuracy of the Flatwoods Monster in this picture just really rocked me to my core. Are you not rocked to your core, DJ?
I am. I'm stunned. Just stunned. Stunned is the only word I can think of to describe how utterly stunned I am.
Now, would you like to describe to the audio listeners the traumatic thing I just showed you?
Yes, it is a picture of the Flatwoods Monster with Vin Diesel's head badly photoshopped over top the face.
Bitch. It's not a bad Photoshop job. I think when the government Photoshopped this... Nope. I think when the government Photoshopped this, I think whatever government agent did this photo did a great job. And I think this is a very accurate, very beautiful, very succumbing.
Oh
very,
my god.
Bitch, give me back my fucking tablet. You don't get to look...
too much. Honest to fucking God.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Now.
Sorry, just the way you got so upset when I called it a bad Photoshop job.
It's not a bad job. The government agent who did that did a great job.
Yeah.
No, I do need to backtrack a little bit. So, to this day, well, I guess we're not backtracking because we're going forward to this day. So to this day, the Flatwoods Monster, the community continues to uplift the Flatwoods Monster and celebrate them. There's actually a really nice story I like about a glass blowing shop in Flatwoods, West Virginia that was going out of business during COVID, right? But they got an idea to make lamps in the shape of the Flatwoods Monster.
And it worked.
Yeah, it sold out and it saved their business. So I think that's a great example of how to this day, Flatwoods, West Virginia is still like embracing the Flatwoods Monster. And again, how when you embrace things like this and spooky things that happen to you, good things can happen. And again, like I said before, that's what I really want to take away from this story. Yeah, it's a fun story. Did they actually see something that night? I think so. Because the two boys, like Kathleen's two kids, to this day, they still say what they saw that night was the truth, the tea, and they're still sticking to their story, right? And even a National Guardsman, Gene Lemon, saw it and is sticking to his story. Like government workers and the government, honestly, if the government is trying to cover something up, there's some legitimacy there. If the government is that worried about it, there's some legitimacy there. And also, I think it's just a nice classic UFO story, you know? Do you have any thoughts on the Flatwood Monster? Any other theories you have that I didn't cover?
No, I think we covered everything.
Period. At the end of the day, it is kind of a simple story, but it's a nice story. And honestly, my favorite part of the story is how Flatwoods and Sutton in Braxton County, West Virginia, which, side note, the people of Braxton County actually nicknamed the Flatwood Monster Braxy, which I think is cute too. Now, one last question for you, DJ. Smash or pass the Flatwoods Monster?
Pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass because of the smell. If it smells that bad, I don't think it's like that tea. Now, do I appreciate it serving fashion? Yes.
But I can appreciate that without.
Yeah, I have a sensitive nose, so the smell, that would do me in. I couldn't with the smell. But that's all she wrote. That's the story of the Flatwoods Monster.
Very good job, Paul.
We don't have to promote the live show anymore.
It went phenomenal. You should have been there.
This comes out the day after our show.
Maybe at some point we will release a tape of it.
Yeah, maybe we'll have
Or maybe
teasers.
we'll destroy it just like Nixon did.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the show because right now as we're filming this, we're a week out from the show. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I'm sure we'll have things to promote to you guys in the future. But for now, all we got to... Wait, do you have any final thoughts before you get into your social medias?
No.
All right, take it away, DJ.
Please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you do listen. If you'd like to connect with us, you can do so through any of those mediums by DMing us or emailing us. If you have your own personal stories, please feel free to email them to us. We would love them in DM, but we're not going to check those for listener stories as often. Paul, where can they find you?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, guys, it's not delivery. It's DiGiorno.
It's what?
DiGiorno.
Oh.
That's what I'm going to name my daughter, DiGiorno.
Did you get a cease and desist letter from DiGiorno?
You weren't supposed to tell anyone about that, DJ.
Oh,
I'm not even allowed to purchase the thin crust anymore. I gotta stick to the goddamn stuffed crust now. They banned me from the thin one.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so on Instagram and on TikTok at TheRealDeej Powers. And remember, Corkies, until next time, keep your grips tight.
And your corks loose.
Bye.